I am waiting for the asylum entry in the US and I won the green card lottery. Can I apply for the adjustment of status in the US if I applied for asylum while I was in the tourist status?
There's a court case called Matter of LK, which essentially describes this situation. Um, Basically, depending on where you live in that situation, USCIS has the discretion to approve your adjustment of status application, even if you are not currently in status, if you filed your asylum application while you were still in B visa status on that tourist visa. It's discretionary, so there's no guarantee that it will work. It's if USCIS, if the officer feels like doing it. Now, in places like California, for example, it's more likely that they might use that discretion to approve the adjustment of status versus a place like Florida, where by and large, it appears that USCIS has taken the position that that court case doesn't apply to them, and they will stick with the general rule that you have to be in status in order to apply for an adjustment of status, including in relation to your diversity visa case. If you are in immigration court and you're in the United States and you've won the green card lottery, can you apply for adjustment of status in that situation? Again, the answer is it depends. You may not necessarily be in status, which would not allow you to apply for that adjustment of status. You might have what's known as DT status, which is a parole. In that situation, you might be eligible to adjust status under the diversity visa lottery. However, in order to do that, you would have to get your case closed or terminated in immigration court. And that may take a long time. It may take months. It might require a motion. And you just might not have that amount of time in order to do that. So that's a very complex situation, case by case, where you really need to consult with an immigration attorney about the facts of your case in order to see if that's possible. But that's going to be extremely difficult to do, but may be possible.
I am on humanitarian parole, available for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Ukrainians, and Venezuelans. I am in the United States and I won the green card lottery. Can I apply for adjustment of status in the United States?
Now, if you're on humanitarian parole of some kind, like for Ukrainians, Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and you've won the green card lottery, that's a parole. In theory, you should be able to adjust status as long as you are currently on parole and the parole is still good. It hasn't expired. Like some of those expire after 1 year, for example. There's an argument that you may be able to adjust status in that situation. But again, these adjustment of status rules, a lot of them, especially involving parole, are kind of gray areas. It could be a problem, essentially. So again, case by case, you should definitely consult with an immigration attorney.
TPS status and you have advanced parole. You are in the US, and you've won the green card. Should you apply for the adjustment of status?
Similar situation, if you're in TPS status and you have advanced parole and you're in the United States and you've won the green card lottery, can you apply for adjustment of status in that situation? Or should you go abroad? With TPS and you have an advanced parole, I think there's less risk to you to go abroad, because even if you don't get the visa issued, you have an advanced parole document, you can always come back and be in TPS, under TPS. Now, if you have advanced parole on TPS and you actually traveled on that advanced parole, then you could be eligible for an adjustment of status in that situation. But if you arrive to the United States, without inspection, and then were got TPS, and you haven't used that advanced parole yet to leave the country and come back, then you won't be able to adjust status.
If I've won the lottery 2 years ago, Can I still take the chance to take the advantage of this?
There is some concerns or issues relating to past winners of the green card lottery that either because of COVID or because of lack of appointments or whatever the case may be, they weren't able to get a visa or green card issued by September 30th of a prior year. They want to know if perhaps there's something that can be done. Pretty much 99% chance that there's nothing that can be done. Maybe if there's some litigation, there would have to be a novel theory, but short of litigation, there's pretty much no chance of getting a green card issued or an immigrant visa issued after the September 30th deadline in the year that you won that, or the following year after you won the green card lottery.
So can I put myself in one of those lawsuits for those years if I didn't?
There's no lawsuits. There's okay. Nothing set right now. It would have to be a very specific set of facts. I mean, there were lawsuits. There have been some limited cases of people being issued green cards under court order. That happened in relation to the Muslim ban, during the Trump era. But short of that, I'm not aware of any lawsuits that would be successful for people who, their September 30th deadline ran out years ago, So I would not be very hopeful in that situation.
Can you change the consulate if your consulate is not amazing? We talked about Almaty a lot. We do have, other countries who have nasty consulates, like difficult consulates. So can they just go to another consulate?
Like I said, I think we've answered that question about changing your consulate. If you're a homeless nationality like Russians, then yeah, you can. It might make sense, although they're assigned to Warsaw, and Warsaw is actually pretty good for diversity visas. So I actually probably wouldn't change if you were assigned to Warsaw. But in theory, you can do it, but you have to balance that against the time that's running out to get your visa issued. So that's a case-by-case situation. I wouldn't always advise doing that. And if your home country, if you're a Kazakh national, and Almaty isn't great, or Georgia isn't great, or Azerbaijan, I believe, is assigned to Georgia as well, you just might be out of luck, and you have to go there, because you would, in order to change posts, you would need another post that would be willing to accept you. And you could spend your whole 6 months before September 30th just trying to find somebody to accept your case. And so that's not a good idea either. So it's really a case-by-case situation. It might be possible, but in most situations, it's not going to be a good idea. If that's something that you're interested in looking at further, please contact us, and we'd be happy to give you a consultation. And please refer to our social media links here below, and we'd be happy to talk to you.